All right, so we are back for the second video of the Stripe style login page series. Now, if you're enjoying this and the progress that we've made with this build so far, please do check out the Bubble Design Lab group on School. It's a great community. It's about $40 a month, so not much to join, but once you've joined, you get access to myself as a coach and a bit of a support with your Bubble design work. I really am looking to help as many builders as possible in the Bubble community really level up their design game with this School community. And you can also send me a message in there. You can send me a Loom video, ask me some questions. I'll give you some advice. And you also get access to things like the editor link for this particular build we're doing. And I'm really ramping my content where there'll be lots more content and sort of pages and apps that you can get access to in that group that are like this one. So if you're following along with this, but you do just want to actually copy the stuff that I've done straight into your app, you can do that by joining the Bubble Design Lab on School. Anyway, we'll jump straight back into it. So we've now got some elements on the page already. And what we're going to do is start adding in some buttons. We're going to add in an element that says or instead of the sign in button. And then from there, we'll move into adding in the forgot password change or custom state change that we'll have with this group. So we've got our Remember Me button. One thing I actually will add in here is the transition between Remember Me being clicked on and off. And the way we're going to do that is by selecting group sign in. We want to sort of go, actually we'll do group sign in element. We want to go select a main group that we've got to set a custom state. And that custom state is going to say that either the user has clicked the Remember Me button on or off. Really simple. So we've selected group sign in element. Click this I symbol here to add a new custom state, and we're going to call this Remember Me. Really easy. The state type is going to be a yes, no, so it's either on or off. Click create, and the default value is going to be no. So we don't want this as a default value for people unless they click it. We're now going to go over to the icon. We're going to change this to be called icon Remember Me. And we're going to first set a conditional expression. And this conditional expression is going to say when the custom state we just set for group sign in element is Remember Me is yes, this is going to look different. It's going to actually be checked and colored. So we'll go over to conditional expressions on icon Remember Me, define another condition, and we're going to say when group sign in elements, we can select that. Custom states, we'll say when group sign in elements Remember Me is yes. We can click away from that, and now we can click icon. So we're going to change the state or change what icon is displayed when it's yes. Type in check. We're under material icons. Under outline, select filled, and then select the checkbox icon that has been filled. We also want to change the color. So select icon color from the icon color selection or change in the drop down. Select a primary color. Whatever primary color you want to work with is fine. And then that's going to sort of change that as soon as someone selects it once we've put in the workflow for that custom state. And we can test this out and what it looks like by clicking the off switch and back on. I actually don't like that color, so we're going to change that to a lighter blue. Again, completely up to you. I'd go with the primary color for your app that you're using though. Fantastic. So now what we're going to do is we want the user to be able to click anywhere in this group when they are changing and turning this state on and off. So we don't just want it to be on the icon itself or on the text, we want it to be anywhere along this line. I think that's what they've actually got on Stripe, I think, and that's certainly what we want as well. So we select group Remember Me, go across to appearance, and then click add workflow. The first thing we've got to do though is define when it can change from state yes to state no. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say only when group sign in element Remember Me is yes. Click away from that. So we're saying only do this when group sign in elements Remember Me is yes. Type in set state of an element, and then we can type in group sign in element custom state Remember Me, and we're going to do the value to no. So this is saying when the value is yes and a user clicks it, change it to no. We're now going to copy that. We'll actually rename it first. So just double click on the text, group Remember Me, and then do a capital letters, no. So that's going to tell us that when group Remember Me, or we're changing it to group Remember Me to no. We can now copy that. We can paste it again. So just right click the workflow, copy, right click, and then paste. Change the title to be group Remember Me, all caps, yes. And now we'll go across and we're going to select, we're going to change the only when for this workflow. So we're going to say, instead of group sign in elements, remember me is yes, we're going to click is yes, just click that final bit of text and then do is no. So this is saying when it's no, what do you want it to do? And we're going to go down into the workflow step and we're going to say we want to change it to yes. So essentially this is going to allow us to toggle back and forth. The first step or the first workflow that we've created is saying when group sign in elements, remember me is yes, change it to no. When group sign in elements, remember me is no, change it to yes. Really, really simple. We've got that conditional expression in place as well. So every time they do click it, it's going to change depending on what the current state is. And if we click back on the group sign in element and then this I symbol, we've got a default custom state in place. So if you don't have a default custom state in place, it's not going to work, because when it comes to the page, we've got a yes or no condition in the workflow, or yes or no only when condition in the workflow. And if we don't have a default state, then it's not yes and it's not no, so it's not going to work. So you do need a default value for that. If you're a more advanced builder, this is probably easy stuff for you, but I just thought I'd point that out and sort of walk through why I've done it that way. Fantastic. So let's go across to the asset search box, type in button, select button, and then we're going to drop that in. Let's just drop it in above access your account, select button A, and then go across to layout and click make last. Fantastic. So now what we can do is we're going to click on the style where it says style from this drop down, click the style and then scroll down to primary, change the name to sign in, go across to layout and then uncheck fit width to content. And we're going to keep it at 44, but we're going to do an edge to edge sort of width so we can uncheck fit width to content there. Fantastic. Go up to appearance, go to label, and type in sign in. And that is our sign in button done, which is really simple. Looks quite nice. We're still going to work out the spacing here and a bit of a border, but we're moving through these elements or this main element really quickly. Now we are going to add in the other buttons before adding in this little separator that says or. That's going to be an interesting one, but we will be able to fit it in this section. So in the asset search drop down, we're going to select button again, and we're going to drop below button sign in. Another button, we're going to then go into style, scroll down to the style that we've set up, secondary transparent. And once we've set that, we're going to change this to say sign in with, let's just say other, because I don't want to be using any language of other platforms or anything. I'll just keep it simple and call it sign in with other. We're going to uncheck fit width to content again, and we're going to change this appearance to say sign in with, let's just say Google. I guess it's Google sign in, so it's not really an issue. The difference on this one as opposed to the button above it though is we're going to select just for this button from the button type, we're going to do icon and label instead of label. So button type label drop down instead, icon and label. Select from the icon. I think we're going to have to do, is it font awesome? It is. So go to font awesome version 4 and then type in Google, select this G symbol, and we're going to change the icon color for that one to, let's just do some sort of red color. That's fine. I'm not worried too much about that color. Looks really good. Fantastic. So now what we can do is we can right click the sign in with other button, click right click again on that button and then click paste. And we're going to change this button type back to label. And we're going to put the label for this one to sign in with key. Oh, we'll change it and say sign in with code. Fantastic. We'll change the name of this to sign in with code. Right click it and then copy, right click where the button is again and paste. And we're going to change this last one to be, we'll change the name of that last button to sign in with SSO. Change the name to say sign in with SSO, or the label of that button, sorry. And then that is all of our buttons there done. And we've got most of the elements done here. We do just need to add in 2 more main elements, and then we can start to sort of package it together to make it look like the login section on or the Stripe style login section that we're trying to create here. Fantastic. So we'll close up group remember me there. We're going to go into our asset search box and we're going to type in shape. So grab shape, drop it in above button sign in, just any shape at all, drop it in above button sign in. We're going to call this shape left. So name that shape left, then head across to layout for shape left. Width is going to be 45, and we'll change this. We'll keep it fixed width. We'll call say 45 width, change it to percentage instead of pixels. And we're going to do the height to 2 instead of, I think it was 150 before. Keep element fixed height, that's good. And actually, yeah, we'll keep it as 45 for now. Fantastic. So we can right click this one, copy, right click, shape left again and paste. I'm going to change this to shape right. And this time, what we're going to do now that we've set that up, so that's fine. Now that we've set that up, we can click on shape left, hold shift on our keyboard, click on shape right with our left mouse pad or mouse click, cursor, whatever you want to call it. Right click on the two when they've been selected, group elements in a row container. And we're going to call this group OR. Fantastic. So for group OR, we're going to get rid of the min height. It's going to drop in and become very difficult to see. But now what we can do is we can open it up by clicking this little drop down or selector icon, and we're going to add a text element. So select text in the asset search section, and between shape left and shape right, we're going to drop that text. Fantastic. With this text, we're going to do all caps and we're going to write OR. And I want you to change the font to be, just move myself out of the way there. We're going to change the font size to be, what did I have? 12. So much smaller, and it is going to be, we'll keep it as that color for now, that's fine. Actually, we'll change the color, change it to 122136. So select the color and then just type in this box there, 122136. Fantastic. So clicking back onto shape left, now what we can do is go across to layout, and then vertical alignment we're going to drop into the to be centered, and we're going to change the width actually to 40%, just make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's all right. Actually, you know what, we're going to keep that 45, sorry. We'll keep that 45. We're going to go across to shape right. We're going to drop it into the center as well. And now going back to group OR, so select the top group here, group OR, container alignment is going to be end to end. So we're going to split it up a little bit, and that's what our end result is. We've got a shape on the left, OR in the middle, shape on the right. And that's a sort of divider between our sign in button and the rest of these buttons. So we're just going to have to move that into place now. So the way that we do that is we click group OR in the left, in the elements tree on the left, and then just click next, and it'll drop below drop below the sign in button. Fantastic. Last one to go now. What we're going to do is drop another button in. We're going to just select button in the element or the asset search section here, select button, and then just drag it and drop it below signing with SSO. No luck there dropping it in, so we're just going to drag it up and make sure it's dropped below signing with SSO. And this is going to be a custom style that we're setting up for this button. So you can do detach style. In the label, I want you to type in join Google Design Lab. Question, have it join, we're going to type in that, not in Bubble Design Lab. You can put whatever you want here. This is essentially a create account section. I'm just being a bit cheeky with this. We can do join now. So you can put whatever you want. If I was creating a sign in or sign up page for an app of mine, I would say something along the lines of don't have an account, question mark, create one here. Don't have an account, create one, that sort of thing in there. But I'm going to put in that text, so I'm not copying any text from or any exact text from a platform that this may or may not look like. We're going to go and change the text size here for this button to 12. We're going to change the color to our primary color, or whatever primary color this one is, so 264 CF4. Whatever button you've made this color, make this one as well. Is that right? Doesn't sound right. Just copy that across. That's not great for me, but we'll copy that across anyway. And we're going to make the opacity for this button, let's make it 20%. Fantastic, that looks good. We're going to change the font color to that primary color as well. So essentially what you want it to look like is, sorry, we're going to change the opacity to 10%. We'll get it really light. What we want it to look like is essentially the font color. That was very poorly explained by me, I apologize for that. Add a button, add in some text about creating an account or joining something, joining the system, change the font color to your primary color to match this button, the background of this button, and then change the background color to be the primary color as well, but put in the opacity of 10%. Definitely not my best bit of explanation or teaching there. Now with this button, what we can do is fit width to content. We're going to stretch that out side to side, and we're going to keep everything else as is to wrap up this section of the mini course. So what we're going to do now is essentially group the main elements up the top here together and then space them out so there's a nice bit of space in between them. We're almost done. There is actually one more thing I noticed that we need to do here. So what we'll do is we can go across to our elements tree. We're going to make sure everything's closed up here. So you want to close up these groups if they're open. Click on text, access your account, go all the way down to sign in with SSO, hold shift, and then left click. It's going to select all of these elements. We can now right click on the first one, group elements in a column container. And the spacing for this is going to be 16. So once they're grouped in a column container, we're going to call this all sign in elements. We'll call that group that we've just created all sign in elements, and then under layout, select apply gap spacing between elements and 16. And then one of the final things we'll do, not the complete final, go back to group sign in element. Container alignment is going to be top and bottom, so it's just going to put it, separate out this button that we've got down the bottom. And then we've just got a few more little tweaks here to make this look really nice. So we're also going to change for group all sign in elements. We're going to change the width of this to be 80%. So what we want to do is click group all sign in elements. The width is going to be 80, set of pixels percent, and then make this element fixed width. Horizontal alignment, we can pop that in the middle so it sort of sits in the middle of this group here. Go to group sign in element, and what we're going to do is put a bit of a border around this and some shadow as well to make it look really nice. So appearance, when we're on group sign in element, down to box shadow color, outset, and we're going to make this, what have I got here? We're going to make this, select a very dark color, even close to just 6 zeros for your box shadow color, and then change the opacity to 8%. So really, really light there. The roundness we're going to do is 8. So that's the roundness for this group sign in element. And oops, sorry, my bad on that. With group sign in element, we also want to get rid of the offset for the shadow so that it's even all the way around. Might actually even give it a little bit more shadow just to make it a little bit more defined. So we'll go back to box shadow color and we'll make this 10% opacity. Awesome, I think that looks really good. A little bit dark with this button, with the coloring around these buttons, but that isn't too much of a worry for me. And then just one last element or one last change to make, and we're done here. So right click on text password, copy that, right click on text password again and do paste. Holding shift, or actually the new one that we've just created, we're going to write in the text box, forgot your password ? We're going to change the color to the same as our primary color. Really poor for me that I don't have that set up as a style already. So just change it to whatever the primary color is for this button sign in, and then we'll change the name of it to text forgot your password. And then holding shift on text password and holding shift on text forgot your password, right click, group these in a row container, go across to layout and do the end to end. We just want to split them up and put them on either sides of this group. We're going to call this group password text. And then we're going to get rid of them in height here. So it drops in, looks really good. And that is this section done. Awesome. Feel free to preview it if you want. There's still some work to go to get this finished, but I think it's looking fantastic so far. Awesome work.